And that is why I'm telling you, the reason as to why most people fail every New Year resolutions is simply because they didn't analyze their mistakes in their previous years. Because as a matter of fact, we are here simply because of where we are from. And if you don't understand how you got here in the first place, then you can't understand how to get yourself out of here. A new year is coming, and with this new year, the things that we will do will determine where we shall be in the next few years. You have to understand, this is not something that we have to say again and again and again every now and then. All those resolutions that you had for 2024, you have to analyze them. You know, the mistake I see with a lot of people is that they usher in a new year, then they have new resolutions without analyzing their previous year. And this way they never get to improve, they never get to learn. You can only learn from your mistakes. You get me? For instance, if 2024 you didn't achieve whatever you wanted in the beginning of the year, then you have to understand why. You have to understand, why didn't I achieve it? You know, you have to analyze your year first. Then at the end of the day, you come up with a plan on how you are going to fix that. You know, a lot of people have this issue of thinking that new year, new me, new year, new resolutions. Bruv, you're only making your freaking dreams farther and farther away. You are just throwing them farther away. That is just what it is, simply because you're not analyzing your mistakes. You're not analyzing where you have come from. You know, because as a matter of fact, we are here simply because of where we are from. And if you don't understand how you got here in the first place, then you can't understand how to get yourself out of here. You get me? That is what most people are getting wrong. You get a person who is like, the old year is gone, new year, new me, new strategies, new I don't know, bullshit. Bruv, you have to understand, all of these resolutions that you have for yourself, all of them are bullshit if you haven't yet analyzed what made you fail in the year 2024. And the tendency of failing in the year 2025 is actually high simply because you don't know what made you to fail in the year 2024. That's just what it is. For instance, back in high school, whenever you failed an exam, you revised those questions that you failed, so that when they come again, you don't fail again. And that is why I'm telling you, the reason as to why most people fail every new year resolutions is simply because they didn't analyze their mistakes in their previous years. That is just what it is. You have to sit down with yourself, write down all those freaking mistakes that you made. Write those down, then be in a position of scribbling down how you are going to solve them. Don't have new resolutions, bruv. That is bullshit. It will only clutter your mind with a lot of things that you need to do, yet you won't be in a position of doing them again, yet again. 10 years, 5 years, they'll just go and you'll be like, what the fuck? Just like that. See? And that's why I'm telling you, you have to sit down with yourself and just understand, how did I get here in the first place? You know, after you understand that, then how can I get myself out of this bullshit? And that is the only way you can be in a position of improving year after year. Simply because if you sit down with yourself, it is actually logical, simply because if you sit down with yourself today, you write down all the mistakes that you did, why you didn't achieve what you wanted in the first place. Then you will see where you failed, you see. Then, when this new year comes, you shall know, this is where I normally fail, you see. So this year I won't fail again. For instance, if it is stripping, I failed here, bitch, what the fuck? So I won't be failing here again, you see. That is the beauty of analyzing your mistakes, simply because, as I told you earlier, we are here simply because of the years that have passed. And if we don't know how we got here, then we can fix where we want to be. That's just what it is. Clarity, big dog. Clarity of what is happening. For instance, your finances. A good example is your finances. If you are spending your finances very poorly in the last few months, spent your finances very poorly, you had a lot of money, now you have nothing, you can't account for that. Then at the end of the year, you're not in a position of analyzing that such kind of a mistake. The tendency of you repeating that same mistake this new year is very freaking high. That is basic logic, you know. That is something that is like basic psychology that we have from within us, men. And you have to understand that your mind has a cycle. Like we are wired in some way, you know, from how we were taught in school, our parents, everybody around us, they kind of wired us to respond to life in a loop, in a kind of a loop, and we end up making those loops. Some of us make them for 30 years. Some of us make them till they freaking die, man. You know, the loops of not achieving simply because they're not trying something outside the loop. You know, we are wired to do just like that. That's just what it is. And you have to understand, you young men out there listening to this, you have to sit down. If you really want to improve in your life, sit down and just analyze, where did I fail in the year 2024? Then how can I fix this stuff in the year 2025? And how can I optimize myself to be most productive, to achieve most of my goals in the year 2024? And also, another mistake that I normally see a lot of young men normally doing is having dreams. You know, year 2025, I will do this, I will do that. Very good. It's good to have dreams, but as I told you in the previous videos, dreams without goals are just bullshit. Goals are something that you say, by this month or by this date, I'll have accomplished this and this and that, you know. But a dream is something that you don't know when, you know. One day, it's a one day bullshit, you know. It's a one day story. It's something that it is not clear. And an enemy to a person who really wants to be successful is lack of clarity. And if you live a life without clarity of where you want to be, at the end of the day, you will end up failing and not achieving what you want to be. That is just what it is, people. As a young man, you have to be honest enough to just understand. You need clarity of what made you to be here, so that you can be able to fix where you want to be. That is just what it is, people. And for young men listening to this, and young women as well, this new year is gonna be a freaking banger, man. And if you don't make something out of the year, I don't know what the fuck is up with you, man. You just have to understand, this year is a year to make changes. It is a year for you to be in a position of elevating to that 2.0 version of yourself. For this year is mine, man. I'm gonna flip this freaking switch and just break it, because I don't give a fuck about being a freaking average man anymore. I'm gonna be the best. I'm not saying this from some freaking bullshit. I'm gonna work my freaking face off until I get what I want. This new year is gonna be a year of change. And that is why I'm telling you, young men, young women listening to this, it is time for change. Don't settle, don't allow another year to just pass by just like that, without you seeing any progress. You have to sit down and just analyze. I want this, and this is all I want. I don't give a fuck about anything else. And you have to go for it. There's no side tracking, there's no, I don't know, or some negotiations and bullshit. Bro, there's no that. This new year we have to get what we want. And that doesn't mean that I'm motivating you in any way. No, I'm telling you your duties, your obligations, the duties we as men we have to do. For instance, if you really want something, then you have to go for it. Like, that's just what I'm telling you. You know, you don't need motivation to go out there and chase what you wanted in life. After all, it's all you wanted for your people. I mean, will you be happy in the next 5 years when you see your mother, your family, your relatives struggling for medical finances or something like that? Will you be happy? You won't be. And that is why you really want to change. And that's why I'm telling you, this year, I'm not here to motivate you in the first place. You know, I'm here to tell you that we have to be the best, whatever it freaking takes. even if it is sacrificing all the freaking comfort that we have just to get where we want to be in life. That is all that really matters, and you have to go for it no matter what. You have to get to that point of not negotiating with what needs to be done. We have to stop negotiating, because we have to be the best, and we really want that. We don't want our people to suffer, unless you want to. But I know you don't want to. You don't want to see your people suffering for some freaking tiny pesos, you know. And that is why I'm telling you, this is not something to be motivated about or something like that. It's something to let you know that you have to take the first freaking step and just go out there and achieve what you want. That is what that really matters, young men. That is what that really matters, young women out there. You have to be the best. Go out there, achieve what you wanted. This new year shouldn't go down just like that, like any other year. No, it shouldn't go to waste. We have to make something off of our lives. And to make something off of our lives, we have to force ourselves. We have to discipline ourselves. We have to be in a position of stop fucking negotiating with ourselves and do what it is necessary to be done. Delete that freaking bullshit TikTok that is revolving the Kasongo bullshit. Delete all this bullshit. It's only distracting you from achieving what you want. And I bet that is one of the biggest things that have been destroying dreams. Every now and then, distraction. Pornography, smoking weed, drinking alcohol with your freaking buddies, eating, I don't know, junk food and all this bullshit, KFC, chipos, chapatis, you know, bruv. All this bullshit is just destroying your freaking dreams. You know, if you have a dream of having a workstation in the year 2025, then you know very well you have to sacrifice a lot of comfort from your junk food, from your KFC, from your alcohol, from your booze, you know. These are some of the things that you have to sacrifice to get what you want, you know. And this year 2025, I'm here to tell you, we have to change that. We have to analyze what made us fail in the year 2024 first, then be in a position of analyzing it and using the lessons for the year 2025 so that we make progress. You know, I really wonder, but I go back at home, back in Naivasha, and I look some of my friends. Technically not my friends. I mean some of my friends, or maybe some old elderly people. When I was young, when I was like, I think 7, from the age of 5 all the way to 12 there, I used to observe some men, they really hustle, men. They are hustling to get by in life, you know, day by day. They just are freaking hustling, and after hustling, they go and drink alcohol, they gabble and such kind of things. And I remember very well, this is when I was really freaking young, man. 7, 5 years old and such. When I was going to school, I used to observe them every now and then, or in the evenings. And until now, whenever I go home, I see the same freaking faces. I see the same freaking faces on those streets, man. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? How comes isn't that man pissed off to be in a position of changing? And that's why I'm telling you people, if you're not progressing, you are regressing. That's what I'm telling you. If you're not putting efforts towards progressing every now and then, every year it goes by and you have seen you have made some progress. If you're not progressing, then you are technically regressing. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest. Because at the end of the day, you want it, you know. Unless you don't, unless you want to see your people suffering, of which I don't believe you want, you know. You really have to want it. You really have to want it and just go for it. I really feel so sad because of those young men out there back at home. And I look at their 15 years doing the same thing, earning tiny freaking pesos, and at the end of the day, they waste all of that on booze. they waste all of that on betting, and the cycle continues. That is why I'm telling you, we work in cycles. Our brain is meant to work in cycles. For instance, whenever you train your brain to be a successful person, and you do the things that successful people do, at the end of the day, your brain will be in the cycles of how to be successful and such. You'll be having an upward spiral towards who you want to be. But if you are making the spiral downwards, you are smoking weed because you are saying, I don't have money, I'm stressed out. You smoke weed, I don't have money, I'm stressed out. You drink alcohol, you go out there and find a freaking prostitute, bruv. You're only making it worse. Don't you see that? And that is why you have to fix it. The same goes for the small mistakes that we normally do. Distraction, TikTok, spending some money for bullshit, you know. All of these, they are only making your freaking hole even larger, making it even harder for you to get out. And that is why I see these young men that years later, they are still there, struggling. Some of them dying because of the freaking crazy job they are doing. Bruv, it's time for change. This 2025, we gotta fucking change this shit, man. That is what that really matters, man. We have to be the best. We have to get out there and achieve what we want, because that is what that really matters from within. We know very well what we want, but our brains are hacked to be in a position of chasing that dopamine, to be in a position of chasing happiness, like some freaking weirdos, children. And all children are normal. We're here to build what we want, and that is what we have to wake up every day and have the courage enough to chase it. As a man, face it. As I told you in the last video concerning pain, that pain that you have from within, that is fire for you. That is fire for you. That is fuel. You know, that is fuel for you to push ahead, for you to go ahead in life, for you to just be in that position of becoming that freaking nigga who gets what he wants in life. You know, that is your fuel. And if you don't know how to use it, at the end of the day, you'll use it to destroy yourself. You know, and that way you are building up karma. You know all of these things are tied up to karma, simply because karma is when, for instance, a basic explanation of karma is whenever a farmer sows a seed, then it will give him fruit. You know, that is karma, man. Causality, the rule of causality, cause and effect. If you sow the seed of smoking weed, you sow the seed of drinking alcohol, simply because you have some pain of something. You are angry that you are broke, you are angry that you see your people suffering. Then you go on top of that, you add up alcohol because you are stressed. On top of that, you add some weed. On top of that, you add some gangster friends. You know, what are you doing? You are sowing, and you are sowing that bitterness. And at the end of the day, it will bring fruit, and the fruits will be even fucking worse, man. Don't you see that? That is just what it is. It is all tied up in causality, karma. You know, but if you can be in a position of maybe having that pain of seeing your people suffering, then you sit down and just say, I'm tired of this bullshit, and I'm gonna change this shit. And then you start sowing seeds of saving your money, stop eating KFC, stop wasting money on booze and alcohol, stop going to parties. You know, you sow that seed of self-discipline. You know, you are sowing. Guess what? At the end of the day, it will bring forth fruit. There's nothing that doesn't bring forth fruit. At the end of the day, you harness the fruit of freedom. In the near future, you will be having money to cater for your people. That's just what it is. That is causality. Like, that is just how life operates, you know. And you have to understand that the path towards achieving that, it won't be easy. You have to fall thousands of times. You know, you have to fall. For instance, the one who invented even these bulbs that we are using, These people had to sacrifice, like they had to fall and rise, they had to be resilient. They had to be resilient. You can't be in a position of trying 20 times and say, oh, I tried. You didn't. You didn't. You have to try even more. What if the 21st trial is when you are supposed to get it, you know? So you have to try even if it means 1,000,000 times, because it is just not worth it to live life with you settled for nothing, knowing very well that you will live tomorrow in the same fucking settled state, and you won't be having what you want. It's just freaking crazy. There's no point of living if you won't get what you want. It's better you die tomorrow when you are fighting for what you want. That is the life worth living, man. Rather than living tomorrow without getting what you wanted simply because you quitted today. What the fuck? You see that? That is all it is, people. We have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice whatever it freaking takes. This 2025, we're gonna make changes. We're gonna make moves. And to the freaking top we are coming. And if you get any value from these videos, actually, I'm really grateful, simply because maybe you are getting some value of such. And let's consider this as our transaction. You go out there, subscribe, like, share, and comment. And with you having this invaluable information, I'm grateful enough for that. You know, just drop a like, subscribe, share, and such kind of things, and I will be really grateful. So you are the top. Alflex Fitness Podcast is coming, and this is just the beginning. I just promise you this. It is just the beginning, and I'm going to build a community for young men. A community which is crazy. So you are the top. Adios.